everybody, Lisa here. Today we're in the woods. The woods is a habitat that we have here in Illinois that has lots of trees around it. And trees are what indicates where a wood is that provides habitat for animals, providing them food, water, shelter, and space. Today I want to call your attention to this particular tree. If you look up a little ways, you'll see there's some holes in that tree. Any idea what might have made those holes? Well, let's do some investigating to see if we can figure out what might have happened to this tree. First off, let's take a look at the tree. Do you think it's alive or dead? Some parts of it certainly don't look alive to me, although we'd have to wait till later in the spring to find out if it actually has some leaves on it. But I think where we have some of these holes might be dead parts of the tree. Did you know that dead trees are really good for animals? Things like to live in them, like bugs, squirrels, and different kinds of animals. But we want to find out what exactly made that hole. Hey, wait, do you hear that? Wow, if you heard that, that might give us our first clues to what exactly made that hole up in the tree. That sound we heard, that clue, was actually called drumming. Woodpeckers make calls and they drum so they can communicate with other woodpeckers in the area so they know where their mates are at and so they can communicate where their territory is. If I keep drumming, sometimes we get lucky enough to have them call back. There was the call and the drum. So we have some red-bellied woodpeckers in this area, which is a good clue of what might have made that hole. You might wonder too, do they hurt their heads when they are pecking so hard? Well, woodpeckers have really strong bills. They're made for pecking onto trees. Their skulls are very thick, and the other thing they need to do when they're pecking on the tree is find food. When they're pecking and they're pounding on the tree with their bills, they can actually hear larvae that might be in there from insects. They take their very long tongue, which can wrap around their head, stick it in the holes, and then they can get a nice tasty treat. So these trees are very important for woodpeckers because they can find food, they can communicate with other woodpeckers, and it's their home. We were looking at the hole in the tree to try and figure out what lived here, and we've kind of come up with that a woodpecker made that hole. Woodpeckers are cavity nesters, and I have an example here of a piece of wood that actually an animal had created a hole in. A cavity nester is an animal such as a woodpecker or a chickadee or even a flying squirrel that make their nests for their babies inside of hollow trees. They don't pick up twigs or grasses and things like that to make their nests. They make them inside of hollow trees like this. The woodpeckers will stay in there for about 12 days, then they'll hatch out of the eggs, and about a month later they'll fledge, which means they're going to fly away from the nest. So this answer to our scientific question for today is, what made that hole in the tree? It was a red-bellied woodpecker. Thanks, we'll take a walk in the woods another day.